What a nice and chill morning, huh? What a nice place. It's been raining quite heavily tonight. Like I woke up and it was like really coming down on the tent and blowing pretty hard as well. But it looks like it's clearing up a little bit. The plan for today, I have 2 locations that I want to stop and check out. Number 1 is a place where you can see a creature that lives only here. Like in the whole world, this is the only place where you can find this creature. And the second place is a cactus plantage. Cactus farm, where you can see so many different cactuses, and I think you can even eat cactus food and cactus drinks. So we're gonna stop there, and then tomorrow morning we go back to Fuerteventura. So this is the last day in Lanzarote. I think 2 days is like a minimum that you need here. It's perfect if you just wanna make a loop, ride through the area and just eat some good food and see some good views. But if you really wanna experience the island, you could easily spend a week here, I think, just having fun and doing stuff. Let's start with today. I'm gonna pack up the bike and hit the road. Let's go. Thought I was here in good time because it opens at 10. It's now 10:17 and it's already packed. Oh. Anyway, here we are. And the thing we're going to see has everything to do with that sculpture. This is Jameos del Agua, designed by César Manrique in the 60s. Jameo is essentially a natural opening created when the roof of a volcanic tube collapses. And this specific tunnel was formed by the La Corona volcano thousands of years ago. Heading underground, you reach a natural light-filled lagoon that is quite beautiful on its own, but even more so if you look a little closer at the tiny white spots underneath the surface. This is home to one of the rarest creatures on Earth, the Jameito. While they are often called blind albino crabs, they are actually a unique species of squat lobsters that is only found here on Lanzarote. And they are tiny, only about 20 millimeters long. And because they lived in total darkness for thousands of years, they lost both their pigment and their sight.
In a world with zero light, camouflage is pretty useless anyway, and by ditching producing color pigments, they save energy and strength to finding food in an environment where resources are pretty scarce.
Right, it's time to get out of here and head to the next tourist destination. Cactuses in 12 minutes.
After the subterranean world of the caves, it's time for something else. Just 10-15 minutes south in the village of Guatisa, you'll find Jardín de Cactus. This was actually the last great work of César Manrique completed on island, and is essentially a massive green coliseum built inside an old volcanic ash quarry. Today, this space houses cactuses. A lot of cactuses. There are about 4,500 specimens from over 500 different species brought in from 5 different continents. The garden experience here isn't just visual, you can eat it too.
For starters, we have cheese with cactus.
Their specialty is incorporating the cactus itself into the menu, offering things like cactus and chicken rolls, honey-eyed cactus croquettes, and their most famous dish, a vegetarian cactus burger.
Doesn't taste too much. It's been smoked. Different. Good.
And you know we can't leave until we have tried the ice cream. Oh.
That's not what I expected. It tastes like ice cream with broth. But it's ice cream, so it's good. I'm gonna finish it. So weird.
Alright, that's it for cactuses. Let's get back on the road. Phone, key, wallet, pockets are closed. Good to go. That was nice. When you get home, these are the kind of stuff that you remember the most. They just stick to your brain in a different way than the roads and the views. They kind of blend in together eventually. I mean, some views obviously stick to your mind to the day you die. But stuff like this, stopping and seeing and learning, and that is easier to remember. Even after a while. I'm going to remember having cactus ice cream and cactus burger. Always, I guess.
as I head south towards my accommodation for the night, I once again find myself in this surreal landscape covered in stone circles. What we're looking at is essentially the aftermath of the massive eruptions in the 1730s. It buried a large portion of Lanzarote's best farmland under lava and a thick blanket of ash known locally as pecan. Desperate to survive, farmers began digging through this volcanic layer in search of fertile soil. And what they discovered was a geological miracle. While most crops failed, the grapevine didn't just survive, they thrived. The porous ash acts like a natural mulch, trapping moisture from the humid night air and delivering it to the roots so the vines can grow without a single drop of irrigation. And that comes in pretty handy on an island that doesn't get more than about 150 millimeters of rain annually on average. But it's incredibly labor intensive. Because machines would destroy the delicate layers, pretty much everything is done by hand. Farmers must constantly maintain the hoyos, those deep pits, and the socos, the protective stone walls. It's a stunning man-made lunar landscape that turned a volcanic graveyard into the most resilient vineyard on Earth. I almost forgot to finish this episode or this day. Arrived here at the apartment that I'm staying this evening. There was an issue with the lock on the door, so the owner had to come and try to figure that out. Got in here, started doing some work, started looking at the weather forecast, because there is an unusual amount of rain coming in here these days. Also on the next islands that we'll be visiting, so Tenerife and La Palma and La Gomera, which kind of sucks. Not just because it's rain, that doesn't really bother me that much. It's nice and warm here anyway. But for the opportunity to create some good content, you know, I want to be up there in altitudes in the mountains and have the views and show you guys the good parts. And if it's just rain and fog, I won't be able to show you that. So I've been going back and forth, like figuring out what to do. I've even checked flights home to see if maybe I can reschedule, come back here in February or something to continue the trip there. And yeah, the whole multiple hours now. I've just been going back and forth trying to make up my mind what is the best move forward. But I think I decided to stay, maybe rearrange a little bit which island I will be visiting next, because La Gomera, for example, looks like it might have a little bit better weather than Tenerife the upcoming days. So we'll see. It's just all this thing that's going on behind the scenes, you know, and I got so caught up in it. I was about to go to bed now. I'm like, oh shit, I never finished my episode at all, did I? But here we are. Here I am. That's what I've been doing this evening. I was going to go for a walk, was the plan, and check out a local restaurant, but it's been raining again, so I'll just stay here and had some snacks for dinner, which is fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. Tomorrow I am taking the ferry again back to Fuerteventura to make my way down south towards Gran Canaria again. I hope you enjoyed this day, even though it was a little bit different with some little bit touristy visits. I quite enjoy those every now and then, depending on what it is. When I am able to like block out the fact that there's so many people there, but like once you get there and get into it, it's not as bad. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed some cultural input as well. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.